Making ground there is Osmos, but taking over is Maracana. Osmos is running home well. Maracana from Osmos. Maracana, Osmos on the outside. Maracana just in front. Osmos lunges, misses. Maracana.
Welcome to Bet Doctor Behind the Curtain. Look at how pro punters operate. I'm your host, Scoot, and I'm joined in studio by John Walter. I was a bit nervous. I didn't know who was going to walk through the door. But how are you, brother?
What are you talking about? What are you scared of a bloke with lipstick on? Why are you worried about that?
I tell you what, it blew up our YouTube channel.
That's
Pauline
all right.
Hanson was here. I've just unfollowed Racing Watch.
I was just upset it got on my teeth. I'm not a experienced lipstick wearer. I'll have to work out how to stop that happening next time.
Better than on your collar. Tournament week. Any nerves? You got the live stream. You trying to defend your crown here?
Nerves?
Nerves. Oh, you're
Nerves
a kick
about
streamer. It's every week for you.
Yeah, exactly. Every day. I'm this stupid bloody, stupid. It's sad to put it that way, but 30 days into this goddamn charity thing, my God, it's really,
I sent you, man.
You got that pressure every day. So no, playing against those lunatics will be a breath of fresh air, hopefully.
Outstanding stuff. DK, you're holding the fort down in Melbourne town, up and about.
I am, Scoot, yeah, up and about. It's one day before winter down here and 21 degrees. The north wind's bloody pumped the temperature up. It's about going to bounce back to bit the usual deal the next couple of days, but lovely here. But yes, no, the only place you'd rather be is on a cruise ship where my old China Nico is with the lovely. And yes, Les, no, I'm a big rapper cruising, as you know. I'm just wondering, just speaking of lipstick and everything like that, just made me think. I wonder if Nico will have the upside down pineapple on the door, or the see any in the ship. You know what the upside down pineapples on the cabin doors are, Scoot? There,
I do. I do actually.
Yes,
I
good.
do.
There you are on top of that.
I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I do know that. It's funny you say that. A friend of mine likes drinking pina coladas, and that's what he tells me. But he went and got this upside down pineapple tattoo. He does travel a lot too with his partner, and then someone. This is his story. He said that someone tugged their coat and alerted them that the upside down pineapple was a calling card for swingers. So it meant you're up for sort of action. So
that's it.
There you go. The old pineapple.
I've dead set never heard that.
Yeah,
upside down
you
pineapple.
learned something new.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I don't have any tattoos.
I'm proud of DK this week, mate.
What's that?
I saw the run sheet and I see that he's ventured to Wagga Wagga.
Oh, yeah.
He's come over the boundary.
I have.
Yeah, so that's
one
exciting.
out wide. That is out wide. That's 6 hours away from here. So, we're
Donald
out.
Trump,
We're
mate.
sticking.
Donald Trump's going to have to make that wall a bit higher to keep you out.
You're tipping a Waller runner too, so yeah,
I love
maybe
it.
this is the end of the world. This could be the last week of life as we know it. Special guest previewers this week's going to be a beauty. So a couple of boys on the tournament live stream for Saturday going to join us. So Johnny McLeod, who was runner-up last time we did a tournament, the 4-man format, he's going to have a look at a couple of races, and Gordo from Racing Rant, larger than life Gord, he'll be previewing a couple of races for us too.
Recorded, or is he on? Is he coming
He's
on?
coming on. He's coming on live.
The coordinator.
Yeah. So really,
Can we bet on it before, because he won't know this is happening, under and over of the word moral? Can we get on?
he does love it, doesn't he? He's very aggressive. But he does say that his betting pattern is if it's not the favourite, he doesn't really like betting in the race.
I believe his betting pattern is LTTL, load till they lob.
It's interesting. He's going to have a couple of bit of help from Sooty Vogan, who you guys have probably seen on our shows previously. He does a bit of Hong Kong, bit of Queensland form, and then I think Mark Lambourne's got a wedding this week and he's spewing. But then he's going to be back in the mix for the final, because the boys are pretty confident they're just going to steam right in. So they're already talking not only about Stradbroke Day, but they're talking about going to Hong Kong. They said, oh, great, we'll win the prize. We'll be able to go to Hong Kong, and then we're going to pay for some extra tickets, so we're all going to go on the tour.
You're nothing without confidence.
Oh, jeez, they got it.
Where are
in
the
bucket,
meetings? Bow
bucket
Desert.
list.
Where have you sent us?
Eagle Farm, Bow Desert and Cairns. So it's an all Queensland affair.
Oh, yeah.
So a bit of a handicap
Where's
for
our
you.
man Jared? Can you get him on the case? Can you text him, DK? Tell him we need a little help for Cairns.
Yeah, it's a
All
pity
right.
Rocky tomorrow's not there. Well,
Exactly.
you start the ball rolling there.
Maybe we can get on an early all up.
If you
Yes.
think we're speaking Chinese, what we're doing a Winter King betting tournament. So it's 2 weeks. So we've got 4 teams, 4 punters. So we've got John McLeod, my man Anthony Don. We've got the Racing Rant boys. So that's Gordo, Sooty, and Mark Lambourne. They need a three-pronged attack. And then old Racing Watch, old John Jane Walter himself. So last time these guys went at it, we had it A versus B, C versus D, and then I think Johnny McLeod progressed and so did Walt, and everyone got pretty good results for anyone that sort of invested. So you can deposit anywhere between $50 and $1,000 per team. These are going to all sell out. So if you want to get behind someone, make sure you do it, I'd say, by Friday night, because Saturday morning, I'm tipping a couple of these banks will be closed and there'll be crumbs or nothing left. There's a little bit of a how to register video. It goes for 5 minutes, explains the competition on YouTube. So head to Little Birdie TV YouTube channel, and it's a little quick walkthrough. So you just need a TopSport account. You go into the account and My Benefits section, or you can head to littlebirdie.tv. And if you're out and about, you can follow the action via our app. So you can follow the bets sort of in real time there. Or if you're going to watch the stream, it'll all be streamed on YouTube, which will be a absolute cracker. The last one was pretty exciting. The semi-final was pretty good. All the boys are going to zoom in. It's hard to get all four boys into the office, but whoever wins their way through, the two highest banks will be in office. We'll fly them down to Melbourne and we'll put the full show on for the grand final of Stradbroke. So the boys will be zooming in from their dens, and it'll be it'll be interesting viewing, especially with Bow Desert and Cairns, the out wide meetings. And just the format's pretty cool. So the boys will be just trying to maintain their bank, and at some stage they'll try and make a run. So it should be good fun.
If that's DK, if DK's the winner king there, you put a few kilos on him, mate. You haven't been too nice to him. Could have buffed him up a bit.
No, he's flying, DK. Don't worry about that, super coach. I've seen some of the footy coaching thing. I just need a live recorded pep talk. I just want to hear one. But last week, no pep talk needed for Donny. Clean Energy absolutely bolted in. Donny's got a complete moral on Friday night. So if you're looking for a bank builder, he couldn't be more bullish for the Sunny Coast Friday night, which is good. And I've chipped in. I've had $500 on Donny for the Winter King. So I think he's in the right form, and a filthy track like Bow Desert is right up his alley. And Eagle Farm is his sweet spot, obviously Queensland specialist. You're becoming a bit of a Queensland specialist. You've been warming your way into it. Water Goes was a beauty. Change of tactics. A bit of a scratching too with Midnight in Tokyo. And it was bloody easy watch.
I was like, you left him a 50-1. Make sure you have something on the 50-1 shot run second. You didn't put it in the email, you low dog. I was wondering why you weren't even happy about it. You're a low man, leaving him out of the 120-1 Cornella.
Nico's away, and he did send us a little bit of footage through from what he's been up to in the cruise. It's not really belly flop pool competition a la DK style from a few years ago, but he's found the phony ponies, and no surprise, he just can't keep away from it, the sicko.
I used to love those things.
Hey? The old casino slot bloody virtual.
And he'd be sitting there looking for patterns and biases and magnet bias. And,
oh my God.
Oh, man.
You'd reckon he'd just have a spell.
So good.
Interesting, that one. But he found the line too with Hard to Cross and Maracana, 40-1. That was a great bet. So he was pretty bullish there. So he's gone away on the cruise, and he's got a pocket full. DK, you're in the chair for the Melbourne preview this week is good. And New Endeavour was just a spew job for me. I've only just come good, really. Couldn't get past bloody Bois de Jean and Annabelle, $41 into 13, and could have been a game changer for me, but
mate, Pete Lawrence back up pretty on the mark. Another very average Group 1, wasn't it? Like, it is what it is, but
yeah, it is. It's funny up the top end, but TopSport Steamers, the Lady Shenandoah was the big steamer last week. It was 10 into $5 or $6, but Clean Energy was just a bit too sharp for it, but they cleared out and wasn't a bad winner if you follow that one each way.
You give it such a good ride when it was on the back of the Clean Energy. You thought, we're on here, and then pulled around. It was and then they put 6 or 7 on the rest. So they hope they backed it each way.
Best of the best this week on Queensland Group Racing. So make sure you bet Bob, especially if you need to leave the house. You don't have to sit around and fish out a price. They've also got protest payout, some top fluck action there, and they're Australian owned. They support us with the tournaments, which is brilliant. So you're mad not to sign up to TopSport and get around the tournament this week. And just in general, you have no dramas getting paid out or no tricks with the meal hands. They've been in the game for a very long time and got one of the best reputations in the game. It's time now to get our old mate John McLeod in and start to sink our teeth into this Eagle Farm program. How are you, John?
Yes, boys, really good. Stoner. Well, just about to say say about that lipstick caper last weekend. Thank God you were born a guy and not a chick. You would have
Mate, I got some
time.
offers in the goddamn. I think the YouTube thing, I got a couple of offers there, didn't I? Beck reckons I was quite popular. She's like, you do understand that there will be blokes at home that could be a chance of having a Roy Bull to that.
Oh, no way.
I said, well, I'm just doing the world a service.
Jesus. At least someone's getting a service.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't get much out of it.
Didn't you?
No,
No. Oh,
clearly not enough.
I must say, I nearly jumped over the balcony when I said it.
I felt pretty comfortable. I got to say, I felt pretty comfortable. And they tried to tip me ballerina bowling. I felt very comfortable doing that. That was like second nature.
Moving along, it's a great little thing that we're doing this weekend. You boys put yourself in the firing line again. Not easy. A few people declined or didn't have the pills to do it, but you guys went toe to toe in the final last time. You lost the credit card roulette. You had to shout dinner as well. Johnny McLeod.
Yeah, I went to Sprug too early, and then I went to water. I went underground about halfway through the day, thinking I'm clear enough, but then produced a couple of 10, 20 to 1 shots, and I was all over by the shouting.
But should be a good little tournament. So join Team Macbet if you want to get around John McLeod. You can see he's absolutely flying with the shutters there, the plantation shutters. It's a sign that you're absolutely airborne. And he's not. It's not just him too that you got to defeat. He's got this little fleet of Macbet yard watchers. So he's got tentacles everywhere, and he's been in the game a very long time. But he's full of confidence, as he should be, being runner up 2 seasons ago behind old Jane John Walter beside me. But let's get straight into it. And a couple of big races here. The first one that we're going to have a look at is the Group 1. It's the Kingsford Smith. And I Wish I Win gets Luke Nolan back on board and is 420 favourite at TopSport. One of John Walter's pin-up horses, Magic Time, $5.50 favourite. Think about it, $6. Bella Nipotina, last start winner, $6. In Secret, $7.50. Espiona, $9.50. Antino, stunning winner last time, $10. And then you got Tavalu, $19. And pretty much pick your own odds for the rest of the field. Yeah, it was a pretty biased track that perhaps cost I Wish I Win the win in the Doomben 10,000. So it'd be interesting to see how the track fares. There's a little bit of pestering rain, I would have said, for the next couple of days, but it doesn't look like there's going to be heaps. I'd be interested to hear what John McLeod says about that. But let's have a quick look at the In Secret horse. And firstly, we'll have a look at its last start, actually, in the Champions Sprint, and it was a good third behind Imperatrice up the Flemington Straight. And here we've got In Secret, probably more recently and a little bit more relevant, just having a bit of a breezes up trial here in the blue. Johnny, what did you make of this, and why have you got her on top in the Kingsford Smith?
Well, I just like the trial. I always like them being sent to the line because, you just get that fitness edge out of it. And if you go around with doing nothing, what's the point of it, sort of thing. So I liked how it was pushed to the line. The horse that it beat goes okay. She's a filly, goes okay. I was interested to see why he trialled back in February and then he's put him out again and brought him back. So he didn't trial too bad in February, and then all of a sudden he's put him out for 2 or 3 months and then got him back and trialled in May twice, and his trials have been okay, hitting the line good. Whether he had a problem back then, I'm not sure, but I just like that big, the Everest run where he probably should have beaten all these horses that raced that day. I like the way he hits the line. He's going to be in the right spot. His pace of the race is a bit of a concern. It's interesting what you said about I Wish I Win being unlucky because of the bias the other day. I probably think it was more the wet track that was against it. And he can't show his turn of foot on those wet tracks, and I think that was what beat it. If he, he got nearly far enough out that day, but he would have just put 2 or 3 lengths in him if he actually if it was a dry track. So it's such an interesting race, this one. That race that everything's coming out of, I Wish I Win and Bella Nipotina and what else is there? I think about what is, but those two horses like Bella Nipotina have gone for 1,300. It's been up a month of Sunday sort of thing. So whether she's going to just keep on going in the yard, she looks absolutely beautiful last up, as does I Wish I Win. But Bella Nipotina's got to get the perfect running behind him. Uncommon James has got to lead. It's just a matter of, I think they'll go fairly slow because Uncommon James will be trying to get the 1,300, which is a real worry. So they're not going to go that fast. And Bella Nipotina is going to be looming and trying to spread and hold off all these closes. So it's a bloody good race, this one. It's very interesting. The rain makes a big difference. The tip and rain later in the week, which is going to play into some of these horses' hands, and other ones, going to be a bit of a negative. So interesting.
And even you've got a horse like Tuvalu, who's coming from the Wangoom. He carried big weight there, probably favoured by the track pattern there. It's a different scenario, taking $12. I guess that horse first up against that field versus, weight for age at this sort of class level. You got Antino, who's drawn 12. What's the Golan camp going to do here? I guess, do they ride him stone cold dead again and, not try and bust him up for a race like the Stradbroke? I know it's weight for age, so it won't affect his handicap position there, but question mark on intent there.
He just hasn't been showing speed, but he can't go, Antino. So the 12 gate, he's going to be back last. I think he can't win. He's got to give these horses start. Weight for age, I don't think he can win. You're right in Tuvalu, but that was a real leaders track day. Whether Tuvalu leads and Uncommon James just comes out and sits on the outside of it because of the 1,300, that's definitely positive for Tuvalu. And all that's going to do, if Think About It comes out of the gates and goes forward, which I think he will, I think he could land fourth too wide and get the perfect run. But In Secret will be behind them, just getting the suck run on those horses, and whether he's back or not. On the trial, you'd say it was a nice trial, but I just keep going back to that, that big race. I don't know whether you're going to show that video of
the Everest.
The Everest. It was just a crack of a run, and should have won.
Yeah, I sort of like the fact that it's probably a few of these horses are beaten up, and after sort of the grand final days, and a lot of them are just, as you say, especially a horse like Bella Nipotina, it's been up for an eternity. It's an interesting one. Magic Time trialled super, or she wasn't really asked to do much early, didn't beat much. It was a poor quality field, so I didn't bother showing that one, but her efforts on the heavy decks up in Sydney were scintillating, and Walt's sort of half engaged to the horse himself. But what do you think about some of Mr. McLeod's comments there, John?
Yeah, I'm kind of interested. I just thought that Doomben 10,000 looked pretty bad. I thought Bella Nipotina sort of did everything wrong. She's had 37 runs. I was agreed. Couldn't believe how good she paraded considering all the racing she's had. And I think they probably should have sold her for $73.7 million during the sale this week. All the mares. If I was at a mare anywhere, I would have been trucking it straight to the Gold Coast, looking at the prices they had.
I was just saying that yesterday.
I would have sold them all. Espiona, Insect, I would have put it in a package deal. $40 million, you can have them all, you long. But I thought Magic Time. They're both looking for that same spot. Think About It, Magic Time. I reckon one of them will follow Uncommon James across, I think, and get that run. And I would wish it was, if you knew Magic Time was drawn 8 and the other one was 9, I'd be super confident that it'd be it and it'd run really well. I just sort of looking for form away from that I Wish I Win run. It's got blinkers on, which is interesting. I Wish I Win. I don't know whether that helps. Luke Nolan from gate 1. A lot depends on this weather. And, if they're all going to roll off, it's going to have to do that same thing as last time, come up the inside, which you would assume would be the wrong part. I'd be trying to find the horses that are going to chime in from, which will be In Secret, Magic Time, probably Think About It. They're the 3 horses, and Espiona will be throwing its head sideways and doing a mental breakdown down the outside. And if you don't back her, she'll jam you. And if you do, she'll just get beat. But, they're the horses you probably want to find, those 4. And I think Magic Time is the one of those that I think's the best setup. In Secret, just first up 1,300.
Scary.
It's attacked. They've got it ready for the race most likely, but she's still got to do it. She's never won past 12. She's never run past 1,200 in her career. So to be first up 1,300 weight for age is not easy. And that was, give it a bit of a bang there, but I'm not sure that she's had some jump outs and stuff. But yeah, just Magic Time having the fitness edge, I'd probably just lean her way slightly, but it's a tough little race.
I think it's got to rain for it to win. Magic Time.
That's it.
You know,
but I'm assuming that's going to happen to some degree.
Yeah.
And the way that, like all the Doomben, Eagle Farm's obviously a little bit different, but geez, the inside draws haven't been much good, have they?
No.
Well, it's interesting that I've been making comments just lately that it's not about the track, it's about the kickback. So you need clear air. So, horses sort of tucked in behind them, third on the fence, fifth on the fence, they're in real trouble because they're getting the shit thrown back at them, and they can't make a run when they want to, sort of thing, because they're sort of just got hammered. The horses that are getting out, maybe 3 wide, even without cover, sort of thing, and just coming in the right part of the track when it's been raining, it's been the perfect horse. When the track hasn't been raining, the fence has been fine. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's we had no lengths advantage to anything really when the track was railed in 2 meters and 1.5 meters the last 2 times it's been there. So it's interesting. As you say, I think the rain probably is going to come, and it's not going to take too much to knock it around because it's very soft on top and hard underneath. So whenever they've been saying that the track is slow, the track is really dead. It's not as bad as it is, but it looks bad. So there's a lot of theories with this race and Eagle Farm. This late in the day, they'll know where to go and what's happening. We know where the rain is. It's just got to be the horse that really 1300, as you say, with In Secret. 1300 is probably going to be more like a 1400 meter race if the rain comes, and that is going to be a little bit of a problem. So you need something that's going to be very strong, 1400 meter horse that's going to be attacking the line in the right part of the track.
Interesting to see.
Here comes Magic Time.
Think about it as in the colours that won you the trip to Augusta. Interesting. Blake Shin goes on. Clippo off.
Blake Shin goes on, yes, which is he's the perfect rider for this horse. He's unfortunately, from my perspective, is the perfect rider to settle it in the 1-1, right, where John thinks it's going to be, and he probably will, and he'll get it there cheap. He'll get it there travelling, which is what it's all about, right? Conserving. He'd sat outside the leader on a brutally run Doncaster last start, so that's definitely not this horse's go. But it has, not Clippo's fault, drawn 13, 16, 7 of 7 in the Canterbury Stakes, so. What's he going to do from those draws? They tried to go back and he was race fierce and then, sort of took the punt and rolled forward in the other 2. So the horses had no luck this prep, and you got to try and work out whether he's still alive and then whether Shin can pull off the great ride from the awkward draw, which, he's capable of. So it's a mindfuck of a race.
I think that's the point. Well, is he still alive, this horse? If go back a prep ago, he beat these for sure, the position he's going to get in. But whether he seems to be a horse that's sort of half looming and then skying a little bit. So,
and even if you interrogate the Everest and that, they probably run that race 10 times. He never wins it again too, right? Even when that was when he was at his best. So, he probably needs to be near his best to win this.
I think you guys have nailed it. Maybe a bit of Chinese if you've been tuned in for the last 10 minutes. But to sum up, I think John Walter definitely leans Magic Time. John McLeod leans In Secret. And if I had a free bet, I wouldn't say that Think About It's out of the race, and 1300 could be just the perfect distance for him. And I'd just like the rider upgrade. Group 1 DK. Any insights here or anything you want to say?
You back there, mate?
Just welfare check, really.
Yeah, welfare check. No, I was up bright and early. I was deep in Caulfield Scoot, so I didn't get a chance to have a look up there. I knew you had so many gurus coming on the show here, like McLeod and the like. So I'll leave it to them, mate.
Happy to
your team had a winner the other day with Lately?
Lately, that was good. Yeah.
Nice.
We tried to buy that horse, but
I thought you actually did buy it.
No, I didn't get it. And then he went and sold it two starts later, and won the other day 30 to 1 or something, didn't it? Anyway.
Yeah, and it's been going quite good. It's turned the corner, that horse.
Well, that's what the thing. Get it away from Lee Friedman. Look, he's gun good old trainer Lee Friedman, but he was butchering that poor horse.
Just don't know if these bloody little pop.
Yeah,
little,
I don't know if that was a line-up job or what, but it was a cracker either way.
It was a good one. Johnny McCart, I don't know whether he's meaning it or
DK
not.
will be back in the balcony here. We're going to get the pop.
No, I wouldn't do. No, I wouldn't do that to Dan the man.
The Eagle Farm Eagle Farm Race 8 is the Queensland Derby, wherever you come from. It's a Group 1. It's over 2,400 metres. This looks like a ripper, especially when you got the horse like Autumn Angel, drawn barrier 1 for Silky Mark Zara, $2.50 favourite. Tannhauser at $4.20. Nash on, J-Mac off. Warmonger, $9. First inning, $17. Navy King from the Wild Yard, $20. Bullets High, $20. Son of Deck, $21. Saban, $21. Ajita, $26. Moonlight Magic, $26. And then Gold Bullion, Mr. Kipchoge and Coda, and it gets it's got a long, funny little tail on this one. If it's a car crash, who knows what will happen? But let's have a look at, I guess, at the traditional lead up. There's a million replays that we could show here. Even a lead up race at Ipswich, the SA Derby, which we've seen on a few times this show. But you've got Tannhauser winning this one in the China Horse Club colours, and you got Autumn Angel trying to chase it down. What were your thoughts on this day, Johnny Mac?
This race is a complete pain in the arse race because the sectionals were really slow early and they didn't really get to the line. So all the leaders were no good and the back markers just closed in the right part of the track. So Danhausen held the other one, Autumn Angel, held him pretty convincingly. Horses like there's a couple of horses behind him that made ground. One of them might have been that Warrior, I think, made ground. And it was wide the whole way. So it wasn't a better part of the track.
First up in a Class 1. How am I going? Warrior. He's a nice horse. He went around the middle of the track at bloody Morfordville too that day, a couple of starts ago. It's going good, that horse. But it's the big thing here, I think, really is what you said about the one gate with Autumn Angel. That's a big negative. But I know there's improvement in the horse with what they're saying from the stable. And I think I was surprised at what type of horse this was. I was expecting a lean, mean machine sort of thing, with her. But she's quite bulky. She's, all the racing that she's had, it hasn't had a problem with her. But having that 4 weeks off or 3 weeks off the other day, she just might have got away from a touch, and this is ready for this. And I just think that she's going to be too good for a horse like Tannhauser's with the breed done deal 2,400. That's their complete and utter adult limit. I think they're more 2,000 metre horses. That's when they use their turn of foot. So I think the only danger here is the one gate, and that's a pain. It is a real pain.
Interesting horse for mine is Warmonger. I've been on the wrong ends of it twice. If the 7 mil between 11 and 4 o'clock lobs, I think this horse comes into calculations. We're not sure how good he goes on the wet, but he looks like he could bloody run 3,000 metres. This camel, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
I'll be looking for him as a jumper.
I think you've done. I think it's trying to load them up, and there's like 3 humpers, 2 humpers, and 1 humpers, and I think probably the 1 humper is Warmonger. I think you might be right because I'd back Hariri to pick these up and carry them. And it, he arguably should have beat it, but it ran pretty much a similar race. I just think Tannhauser's not much good at all, and that's what grazed me up about Autumn Angel. And I think it's the one to beat too, but I'm not going to take 6-4 or even money or whatever the heck it is. So I'd rather try to find something to beat it. And I think what price is Warmonger? It's probably
$9?
Double figures, is it? Yeah. So I probably would lean that way. I think it's diabolical, and I'll just be cheering for my early bets on Bullets High, who looks a bit of like he's going to enjoy 2,400, maybe just that left field form. Because even that Ipswich lead up, they took half an hour to come up the straight there. I can't.
And he's sort of got that high and proud form, 2 starts back, and he's gone away. He's just a big dopey bugger. He doesn't really know he's a racehorse yet, does he?
No, and I just don't know. It's just such a bad race. Even Son of Deck, someone rang me, tied up with them and said, are we mad going there? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You're coming off 2 slow run races, not well set up, going 2,400. You got everything against you, but they're just so slow that you don't want to be sitting at home and watching them whacking up the straight thinking what could have happened. So I think that's why they're lining up too. It's just such a bad race that, left field's probably, Warmonger and Bullet's high for me. But yeah,
Is Sun Deck that horse that come from last the other day and just went bang down the outside?
it did. So it come down the right part, but it looked like they must have gone 100 mile an hour, but they actually walked and it ripped home. And the start before that, it was ridden forward, which it's never had in its life, and looked average. Like it looked like it's sort of perfect ride PR, but obviously jamming it out the gates is not its go because dead set went like a Learjet. That's going. So, and it's a runty little thing. I can't wait for you to have a look at it. You'll be very impressed by it at the yard. It looks like a coat hanger. So
My
it'll be
guy said
interesting.
it was Paul Walker too.
Yeah, I think it's just one of those freaky little horses that's, I'm tipping it was pretty cheap or whatever, and they're having a bit of fun with it. So I hope it runs well for them.
The one thing in this race is that there's no speed. Now, Naked King will lead on its ear. And where do you go? Like, you're right about Warmonger. His run was really good. He's been flying. They took the blinkers off him the other day and went back and stayed back and then ran down out wide. But, if he's going back again, how's he going to get into the race unless
Well, at least he's got shin though, right? At least he's not silly enough to just sit back there and let it all happen. So if they're walking, he'll be either trying to cut through them or you think he's at least, sharp enough to understand what the tempo is doing. And, that's at least a plus, but I agree with you where it's going to be. Who knows?
It's funny how these days if the fence is no good, everyone lets the leaders get away with murder because they think, okay, we're going to come down the outside and we'll just blow the leaders away. But if the leaders head out there, all it is a sprint home.
Now it becomes up and off, right? That's it.
Yeah. So, it's a very interesting race again with this rain, whether it comes or not, because it's just there's no speed. Leaders up horse, someone's going to have to do something at some stage here to take off, and they're going to need a very, very fit horse if they want to take off and go. And I suppose Warmonger is one of those horses that has run out the distance and is very fit.
It's an interesting one that with that Son of Deck, he's bred to absolutely swim. I'm not sure what happened at the day at Musselbrook on the heavy 8. 3 starts back over the 1280.
Yeah,
might be a good run first up. I'll have to go back through the tapes, but there'll be no dramas.
I think it was a ridiculously slow tempo. Yeah.
Anyway, he'll be motoring through the mud, no doubt. But Reggie's an interesting rider selection.
Yeah, well, I think that was Ash Morgan rode it, and he either got a really good book in Sydney, and or he made the choice to come here. So I think he just stuck with the book in Sydney, and I don't know where they've plucked Sir Reginald from.
Fascinating race, and sounds like you guys are going to be definitely betting away from Autumn Angel. So race 8, the whips will be cracking here with the final hour of the tournament going. So a little bit of a caveat there. Johnny McLeod's known for a bit of skullduggery and tricks. So what he's just said on this show, you can nearly just tear it up and just throw it out the window.
I'm just waiting for his next one-liner he's got for DK. He's obviously got them all rid of. That was the best ever lately.
But
I honestly thought you bought that bloody thing. That's just unbelievable.
And Lee outbid us, and then he went and sold it for the same price 2 starts later. So that was a missed one there anyway.
Because Matt's in that horse, isn't he? Isn't he still in it or not?
No, that was Crawf.
He got out of it.
That was Crawf in that one.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it's going to be a beauty. So make sure you tune in. 11:30, the stream will start. We'll go to about 5 o'clock. Johnny McLeod is desperate to get to Hong Kong and play up. He might ride an elephant over there, and I can record it and film it. But
I might have to lose weight of that.
I'm going to drag that photo back up at some stage. But join Team Macbet at TopSport if you want to get behind Johnny McLeod before his big punter mates chips in and extinguish all his bank. So first in for that 5K bank, and hopefully the boys can double or triple everyone's money out of that. But thanks for joining us, Johnny, and good luck on the weekend.
Sounds good, Scoot. Thanks, boys.
Outstanding stuff. Very thorough and knows his stuff inside out. And he's also a user of puntingform.com.au's data. So I think he's got his own database. So if you just want to buy the data and input it into what you do, you can also do that. So there's different modes other than just getting the online format of puntingform.com.au. And you can reach out to me or anyone at Puntingform if you want to enhance your data set by inputting their data in. All right,
just on data, Scoot. Just on data.
Oh, here we go.
I'll just go on it. I know we're Punting Form, but the other sponsor's Queensland Racing, isn't it?
Yes.
So I had that horse run at Mackay, I had those horses run at Mackay on Monday, then get in the next day and click on the data or sectionals or whatever. You want to see the reports you get there. It's unbelievable. All the sectionals, the stride length. I knew I was going to call Walt to dissect the whole thing. I'd never seen some of that stuff. So that was in the next day on a Monday at Mackay. All that data was in there. That's pretty impressive.
I saw that Paul Ferrari fella mention something. Someone must have talked about it, and they're like, "Yeah, they're light years ahead of everyone else now." Queensland on country and provincial stuff, the information they're providing. So it's obviously great.
RacingQueensland.com.au. They're your home, not for just the replays, definitely for that sectional data and the stride length. And they've made another good rule. If you've got two horses nominated in different races across the card, let's pretend it's this Saturday, the trainer has to pull out of the second race by 5 o'clock on acceptance day. So by 5 o'clock on Wednesday, you'll know where the horse is going to go for Saturday's racing, as an example. So it's just another further proof in point that RQ's got punters at they got them first up the front of the bus. So it's good to see that Racing Queensland are leading the way with what punters want, because that's been a bugbear for so many punters for so long.
So acceptances are at 10 a.m. They get the whole day to work out where they want to go, pros and cons, and by 5 p.m. make your decision. That's fantastic.
Victoria could take a leaf out of their
should do it every day.
2 p.m. in Sydney.
Every day there's acceptances. Are you talking,
so if they're different tracks, so if you've got one in Brisbane, one in Melbourne,
no, you got to pick the race.
Yeah, but only if it's on that track, the same meeting.
No,
so it's the same everywhere.
I'm not sure.
It should be everywhere.
Because if it was, say, Sydney and Brisbane and you had to pick, that would be great, because they're the ones that drive you mad.
Yeah, that would be very good.
Or two different meetings or whatever. Yeah. But I think if it's same meeting, the other states do that.
They accept over 3 over the weekend. They'll accept
that's right.
Saturday, Sunday, Monday at the provincials. Right, make your decision.
We want to know.
Even just pulling them out straight away after they run. The steward should have the power to do that.
100% they should. Yeah, yeah, within a couple of days or whatever. Yeah, outstanding stuff. All right, step in the right direction. It's time to head to Sydney town and have a chat to Gordo from Racing Rant, who's chomping on the bit. And apologies, we've gone well over time. Mr. McLeod just grade everyone up.
Jesus, I think he graded himself up.
Did he?
I think so.
It was a pleasure to listen to that going on. I was listening in the background. Hey, Nick. Hey, gentlemen. How you going?
We're going well. Did it put you to sleep?
Yeah, because I think it's an ABC program with morals. So,
mate,
yeah, I've
set the line at 4.5, and I've gone the overs. So, can you please just get me on so I can have one winner for the week?
Yeah. Look, it's really interesting what goes on with the weather and the track pattern, because I'm pretty keen on particularly one horse that's drawn wide, and I'm saying that's going to be A-OK. So, look, I'm assuming the weather comes and that'll make this horse an absolute Monty. But anyway, what do you want to talk about, Scoot? Which race?
All right, let's go. Let's go hunting. Eagle Farm Race 5, the size produce. We'll keep it nice and easy. Broadsiding is $3.20 favourite, in from $3.80. Brutal Bowler $6.50. Elmore Zillow $6.50. Bitter Creek $9. Angel Capital, and you get $15 or better for the rest. Has a bit of a long tail here, but the horse that you've signalled for us to have a look at is Broadsiding. We referenced it earlier in the show. He's trialled well. Not sure about the opposition here, but he's in the Godolphin Blue with the maroon cap, and he just zooms late. Gordon, tell us why you like this horse.
This is A+ blue colours trial, particularly off a short break, because they're just really soft on it. They just give it a little bit of a squeeze late, and it extends beautiful. I also know that the Snowden camp have a pretty big opinion of that red colours horse coming down the outside, I Found You. So look at that through the line. Like, that is just a beautiful soft mid-prep trial for the Cummings yard. Saying that, when I was doing this race and I saw that barrier was going to be one of the widest barriers on the card, I was a little bit concerned about that. But there's 2 reasons now why we can ignore that factor. And that's because it could be the right place to be as far as the pattern of the day is concerned. And also, I'm loving the fact that it was so strong over 1,600 metres last start. So with the freshen up back to 1,400 metres, means that this thing can actually cover a little bit more ground and it's not such a negative. And saying that, off my figures, this horse has the ability to maintain a 600-metre run, and none of these others do. These others are B-graders. This thing won one of the premier Group 1 races in Sydney. The trial shows it's absolutely flying. The stable tells me it's absolutely flying. I've found reasons to ignore barrier 21. It is just a beautiful bet. And our Racing Rant membership in this competition will probably be having its biggest bet on this particular horse.
Chips in. I love this. Race 5, Eagle Farm. Middle of the day. It'll be boom or bust, and the boys will be packing their bags for Hong Kong, or they'll be going somewhere. They'll be staying at home. Really, it'll be Hong Kong or home job. Walt, we sort of spoke about this show or this horse in last week's show or 2 weeks ago. It's all of it's a little bit of a blur, but you nearly fell off your chair when you said, "What's this horse doing?" At the top of the JJ Atkins market, and you were surprised that it wasn't sort of being kept aside for something better.
Well, it didn't make sense from a sort of Godolphin perspective, like 5, 6 runs, whatever it's had first prep, to be pushing on, especially after it's done what it's done. But as you said, sort of there's a bit of mail around that it's important to the sire to get a couple more on the board and maybe block a few others. So it makes sense, These are Darley Stallions. So the good thing about that is that it has been a plan, you know what I mean? So it's not an afterthought. That trial, as Gord said, all you want to see is they're on track. And even though the time wasn't great, that sort of last 200, which, is always a little bit of a worry, it's just how it moves, And so I completely agree. Probably the only thing, the knock, and she's riding out of her backside, is Jamie Carr. Is just I prefer on sort of go-forward horses rather than this. If it had, J-Mac, but Shin's here. I'd be even more excited. But then you look at the betting, and I'm like, I'm a huge El Morzillo fan, and it's $6, and this horse is $3.80. Shouldn't it be $1.60 and $10? Like, I just don't understand how this horse is close to 3 to 1.
Well,
even if it doesn't win.
It sounds like if I have a good result on this horse, it's still not going to get me over the line if I'm up
Well, I
against
think we'll
you.
be bankering it into something else likely, but it's surely, like, if it's on song and it is down there, so it's got to start with a 2 in front of it. Surely, it just seems wrong. Like, Brutal Bowler was one of the greatest carve jobs you've ever seen in your life first start, and then it sort of carved through some average horses last start. It's $6. This horse was knocking up winning champagne, so the betting just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe everyone's just sort of thinking a bit like me that it's an afterthought, but if you just look at it all in isolation, Gord made some great points. It's a miler that's fresh and it's going to be strong, and it only needs an ounce of luck and should be just about rounding these up. And El Morzillo beats it. It's possible, but surely you're going to get a better price.
Oh, well, you're a man of my heart with that slight negative about Jamie Carr there. I've been banging on about that for a while.
Markers. I just think she can get a bit lost, whereas, I just think she's better suited. She's a bit like Timmy, for argument's sake, much better on those rating horses and tempos up front, for sure.
Yeah, you can get away with it a lot more in Melbourne as well because there tends to be more of a lack of intent. So I think that's why her figures, being a Melbourne-centric jockey, look a bit better than her talent.
Yeah, I think, the only time I can remember Jamie it was Vega 1. I think they've been rolling out that replay when she just barged away through a gap that sort of wasn't there. And I don't know if she got time for that ride, but I remember talking about it at the time, and that was probably one of the most fearless rides I've ever seen her sort of do. But yeah, it's definitely one out of the box, and I echo what you guys' sentiments are there too. I think there's more under the bonnet from Angel Capital. There was zero intent last time, but my query with this horse is I'm not sure that it will be best suited by a wet track. I think it might want dry ground, Angel Capital, but there's something there. Mark Zara gets the ride, but again, I think it's sort of men against boys. You've got this horse broadside.
Right? Like, again, $8. It should be 20s, right? Like, you back it at 20s. But it's just weird. The gap's just not there between them. It's very strange.
There's a lot of hype about that horse, Scoot, that Angel Capital. A lot of hype.
And it's set weights too, right?
Yeah. It's just
very weird.
What more do you want? What more do you want, punters? All you Little Birdie fans out there?
I'm not going to roll that word out to get the tally over the line because it's not one of my words. But if you will, I wouldn't stop you saying it.
I tell you what, it's going to be a quiet last 3 hours if that horse gets beat by some sort of act of God. Exactly.
It's all right. It'll be a 4-way dead heat. What happens then? Do we toss a coin? It's
sort of like the poker tournament where you just keep that extra $1 to just get yourself over the line.
Yeah.
So
you get through the bubble, Scoot. Yeah, you get to the bubble.
4999.
Oh, shit. It's going to be entertaining. So that's part of the challenge. Backing the right horses and then preserving your bank and having the right sort of shot at the right horse. Race 6 is the next one we're going to have a look at here, Gord. It's the Fred Best Classic. It's a 1,400-metre race. Steffi Magnetica is the favourite. And it's $3.40. Schwartz is $5.50. Corniche $7. To Party, Back from the Wilderness $12. Abounding $15. Snow Patrol $16 Sofrado, $17 Instructor 21 Moravia, In the Wilderness as well, $21, and then Chrysler or Amor. And there's a few horses that are a bit beaten up, and Walt, one of Walt's favourites, our favourite, speaking of Wilderness, Roll on High. What a preparation it's had. But let's have a look at the unmissable replay here of Steffi Magnetica against the older horses in the 10,000. You got I Wish I Win looking for better ground with J-Mac, and then Chain of Lightning's there, Bella Nipotina, and then old Steffi or Stiffy,
25
as
to 1
some
the
people
place.
call her.
25 to 1 the place.
I was on the place, Walt, and yeah, I was disappointed. This could be the best run out of the absolute A grade form. You didn't show the start of the race. You don't need to. I'll explain it to everybody. It sort of was unbalanced when it's jumped, and TC had to get back in the saddle, and it's a really uncomfortable position for a horse. Then it sort of was unbalanced, had to go back further than it should have. And then late in that race, as you'll see, it had to go inside I Wish I Win and came home beautifully after being unbalanced for half the race. It's up against B or C graders here, not the A graders. And another thing that is great about this, we're all a little bit cautious about these inside draws and maybe that not being the right part of the track. But the way that horse extended in that race on the wrong part on the inside suggests to me it can save ground, go up the inside, and if it extends like it did against those A graders, it'll just blow these away. I'm giving this a moral. I think we can still be in the worst part of the track and still win the race. Super easy bet. I'm not going to be going early. I'm going to wait and hope for some resistance. Maybe I'm praying for that, but I think this is another moral Steffi Magnetica. So I'm super keen on this. This is a bloody good horse, and the stable have given me the word that the horse is airborne, which, I mean, you don't even need to hear because it's obvious off that Doomben run that it is. So it's up against nothing yet. Again, broadsiding, best horse up against weak opposition. Steffi Magnetica, best horse up against weak opposition. I just love bets like this.
We've paid out early on the over 4.5 moral mention within the first 5 minutes of Gord's segment.
That was the first leg of my treble.
First leg of your treble.
Yeah.
So you're on the board.
Do I have to tip 4 morals, or do I just have to say moral
You
4
have to
times?
say it 4 times.
You have to say it.
Because you said 2 races. I said, well, there'll be 4 morals in 2 races for sure.
Yeah. Good work.
So I actually completely agree,
Oh.
1,000,000%. And what I basically touched on, I love races like this. There's actually a couple of horses that go okay and have turn of foots, but this horse has a serious turn of foot, and they can overcome those gates. And actually, different to Jamie, I prefer Tommy on these horses. Stalkers, where he can sort of sum up the race. He tends to handle races from back in the field much better than he does up the front. So I don't think she'll be right at the back. I think she'll be sort of midfield inside, wherever she's comfortable, if she jumps. Agree completely with your dissection of the last race. Sort of, I'm not going to say Timmy carved it, but you expected Timmy hopefully to sit a little bit closer, and everything that could go wrong did, and she still ran extremely well. So yeah, set weights. There's a few of my horses here that are old favourites, but I think probably the thing that's a little query is 1400 second up. That's it. That's the only thing.
I mean, we've got that run last preparation. Well, the second there,
and that was so like 5th up, and they walked right.
Yeah,
but still, that's the only inkling in the back of my mind. But Björn gets them fitter than most, right? So yeah, I'm with you for sure. And the inside draw sort of negates the 1400 a little bit too. She can suck, unleash, and hopefully that's good enough because she's a lot better horse than, like you say, Schwartz and most of those.
But it's a little bit of a pearl of mine on wet tracks if we get there, that if you are a swimmer, which I think this horse is very good on the wet, there's no problem with being in the worst part of the track. You still run the same sectionals anyway. Doesn't happen all the time, but there's good betting opportunities when the market can be against you in certain scenarios like that, and there's good value. Are we going to talk about the big race, or
you can. You definitely can.
Mate, we had 27 minutes of it with Johnny, so
I'll just say
as well, because I'm sure you'll sum it up a bit quicker than the big fella.
Yeah. I'm hoping Pride has reset. Think about it. I was disappointed with what he was training it for, to aim it at the Doncaster, because I do think this horse is a 1,300 metre horse. I've got that beautiful victory in last year, course and distance, same race where it was posted 3 wide and was never going to lose. I love the fact that Shin goes on, and I really liked its last trial where they were super soft And if you have a look past the post and through the line, it was extending beautifully while covering more ground. So if the reset has worked, I think this horse maps in the right position and is just a really great bet around that $6.50, $7.
I think the horse is not far away from his top. Interesting. I'm fascinated to see what the market does with him, but yeah, maybe those big syndicates will gravitate around the track and trip stats as well. And obviously, no one's riding as hot as B Shin. So fascinating to hear your thoughts there. And it's going to be interesting to see how that 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock window plays out with, I guess, so
you know
many
what I'm
punters.
doing now?
Hey?
I'm going to truckload the double and then get on the fair and firm them up. I'm going to jam Gordo right up.
Oh, there might be some funny stuff going on the fair on Saturday morning, guys. Yeah, as per usual. Yeah.
Oh, the only horse, other reference in the Fred Best Classic, horse to follow probably is Abounding. I'm not sure if she's up to those, but I was surprised got so close last time. I think it's got a little bit of ability. $4.20 the place might appeal there, but yeah, old Stiffy. It's hard to deny that it's hard. Well, everyone will have a Stiffy in the stream everywhere across Australia if she wins, and hopefully that'll be another moral that salutes and looks like a bit of a happy hunting ground at Eagle Farm. I haven't got around the rest of their tracks, but hopefully we put on a good show. And Gord,
yeah, and thanks, Skip, by the way, you just covered the 4.5 line for moral as well. So
Yeah.
well, hopefully we just make a moral of it and take lots of Top Sports money. And make sure you tune into Racing Rant, Team Racing Rant. So you've got Sooty Vogan. These guys, they're shifty as shit-house rats. So let me tell you, Bow Desert and Cairns will be in the picture for Racing Rant. They'll be trying to find a bit of a diamond in the rough there. And they've got men all around Australia, all around the ground.
I've got my North, yeah, it's good. I've got my North Queensland guy doing Cairns for me as we speak. So I'll be using a little bit of extra mail. Are you allowed to do that, or do I have to do the form myself?
You do whatever you like.
Any means to get the W. So it should be a great time to tune in. So make sure you support Racing Rant if they're your guys, and we're just happy to push and promote anyone. And a big thanks to Gord for jumping on the show and having a look at a couple of races for us. Good luck.
See you guys. Good luck.
Cheers, mate.
Outstanding stuff. All right. Well, you've just heard two pretty confident men across the Eagle Farm card, and yeah, look, I'm probably I'm probably genuinely concerned if those two get beat. It's going to be pretty tough gig for the last 2 hours of the show to keep the vibe
Should
in the
have
joint.
a reload in there.
Hey,
should have like taken a leaf out of my book. A rebuy with punishment or something. It would have been.
we've already covered the Racing Queensland stuff. Make sure you check out racingqueensland.com.au. Their sectionals and their stride length and their racing replay archive is second to none. So make sure you jump into that for the next 8 weeks of the Carnival. Whirlpool's going to operate for 4 races. So the 2 big Group 1s, if the favourites get rolled, which the boys are saying yes, there could be some big tote divs pop. So make sure you check out those products. And it's good to see that operating for the big races there. Rosehill, Walt, are they on this week or?
Have I not done Rosehill yet?
No.
Holy cow! Poor old DK. I feel sorry for him today.
I deliberately put it so far back there. He's nodding off. He's just waiting. He's getting excited.
He's
for
getting ready for
Rockhampton.
Wagga, mate. He's got Wagga. He's pumped.
Wagga and Rockhampton tomorrow, I think. Rosehill Race 2, the Rant handicap, 1,300 metres. You've got Emirate favourite here. Waller, Josh Parr, 260. Omnic, Omnic, $7. Mr. Temsia, $8.50. Sovereign Hill, that's a better name, $10. Point and Shoot, $11. Concordia Wind, $11. Emirate is the horse that you like here in the red. Walt.
So Dick Day debuted at Warwick Farm, same day that what was that Clean, whatever thing that won that last Saturday in Eagle Farm. So the leaders gets it really soft and rated really well. So Emirate missed it a little bit, got stuck on the inside, ran the fastest 8.642 of the day. In a steadily run, but at like a good overall time. So a pretty good sign for a 2-year-old on debut on a wet track. I'm usually very scared of things like 1,000 to 1,300, but just love that this horse could sort of do that. It's not easy over 1,000 to do things wrong, overcome it, and then the winners come out and run well. The second horse has come out and run well again since. Gate 1, if it just steps a little bit cleanly, Josh rode the second horse there. He's on it on the winner, and I think it'll just box seat and run extremely well. I think they went up 350 or something. It's into sort of 260, 280, something like that. I think it's a pretty smart horse that'll run very well. The rest are all kind of hard to split too much. There was, Omnic and Harlan Queen came out of the Pisces race. They both ran really well. I probably lean to that race as the main sort of scary race against them. Concordia Wind will be the Waller stablemate in the same colours that'll come down the outside and jam you for sure. Coming off a strong debut at Gosford, where I think it jumps in to quite. I think it's 11 to 1300. But anyway, I think this horse got the turn of foot to basically do what we talked about with Steffi Magnetica. It's just suck, expose, and hopefully outsprint him. Looks a pretty smart horse, Emirates.
Outstanding. Poor old Walt won't be able to use Sydney, or he won't be able to take that into a double into any of the Queensland-only tournaments. So if you want to get around him, make sure you get on board with TopSport and go into Team Racing Watch. I'd do it early because looking at the banks, they're already well on their way, a couple of these banks. So make sure you get behind him, and if you got on him for the last one, the Master Punter, you would have filled your boots. So
I might get PVL to move the border for me. Any chance? He might move the border to just south of Rosehill for me for the day.
Mate, if you can get a team over the line in Papua New Guinea, I'm tipping he can get the borders redrawn.
I think he can.
Unbelievable stuff. Story for another day. But DK, that's enough of the Northern Racing Show. We're going to
there was about 1 hour's worth.
Yeah. Is it?
It felt
They're
like
getting their bang for their buck.
Race 3 is the Varley Rod McQueen. It's a 1,400 metre race at Caulfield. $3.20 episodic. Princess Raya, $3.90. Arcana is $8. Subliminal, $10. Amani, $11. Funzel, $12. And then you got She's Pretty Rich. You got Fiasco Tesk and Queen of Tuscany. Further out of the market, but Aquana is the horse that you like here, DK, from the Anthony Freeman yard.
Well, this is third. This is its last run, which is back on the inside there, the grey, in a slowly run affair. Went back, and this was in the it was what turned out to be the inferior ground on the day, and just warms up here under light riding from the T Bull to peel off the best last 400 of the day in the worst ground. First up, I spoke about this horse. First up, we spoke about Anthony Friedman and Sam Friedman, how when their horses get truckloaded, they run accordingly. So, and I mentioned this horse at Echuca, where it was one paced and just had an educational first prep. It resumed at Echuca from the outside barrier with Billy Egan on. They put up about $4, which is about right off its form, and it was absolutely truckloaded. And Billy rode it just like Anthony Friedman. She said, "Don't worry, just keep it out of trouble." It just sat back and wide around Echuca and just steamed past him, just like it's improved links this prep. Then it's had two basically barrier trials since. It was a moral beat second up at Geelong, never got out very late. Then had another barrier trial there for the little girl back on the inside in the worst ground. So it gets senior rider, it draws out. So hopefully, I think the way it went around horses at Echuca and the way it's been stuck inside them sort of the last couple or back inside
no drama.
them, it's going to be better drawn out, building momentum. It's just flying, this horse. It's got so much more to give. So it's going to be a bit of an awkward draw. It does come off from off in midfield, but you're going to get good odds, maybe even double figures to find out. So Advana. There's a couple of other inform. There's an inform there coming across from South Australia, episodic. She's going up in the grades over there, gets D-lane and low draw, but she's got a lump the full 60 and, up in class. And the other one's the thing down from New South Wales from Princess Raya, who is dual accepted at 1,500 up there and 1,400 down here. Went 1,400 first up. Okay, 1,550 heavily back second up. Now it's coming back to 1,400. I don't know about that. I would have thought it wanted a mile or something, or the 15 that's got up in Sydney. So it's back in distance. It took 9 starts to win a maiden. It's honest, but it's no star. I think this horse has got plenty in the tank, Akvana. So, and there should be okay tempo here. So there's a few roll forward, which will be more tempo than the other day. So Akvana Scoot, that one there.
I don't mind that as at a price point for sure against a horse like Episodic, 60 kilos, $3.20. I could put a saddle on you, DK, and you'd round a few of those up that it beat the last couple of starts.
That's all I thought. So it didn't beat much, did it? Beat, I think, El Capone or something the other day, which is an old Jay Warren horse here. Cast off.
I'd definitely be each way, Aquana. Yeah. Princess Raya, Walt, you got an opinion of that? DK's surprised it's not going out in trip?
Honest but limited. I'd put it in that box. I'd put it on that box. Always runs a solid race, but doesn't tend
It's the map horse. It's got a nice draw and everything, but I think if Akvana can charge to the line here, it'd hopefully be able to round it up.
All right. We've got a mini Steffi Magnetica for Arquana race 3 at Caulfield. Some Vic form. Let's go to Caulfield race 6, the Manhari Medals Handicap, 1,100 metres. And Keep Reading's a favourite here. Carleen Heffel, Richard and Chantel Jolly. 420. Vivian is $5. Twin Perfection 6. Ashford Street $8.50. And then you got Extremely Lucky $8.50. Senegalia $11. And then you got Curran. The horse here we're going to have a look at here is Keep Reading, DK. Adelaide horse?
Yes, Adelaide horse. So Keep Reading in the Carrots Price Bulldogs colours here. This is first up. This is the first, it shows how well he's come back. This is his first, even though he runs well first up, this is first time he's won first up. And he did it here with the 61 kilos. So I think that shows he's return in terrific order. Comes across the border, drops, gets the beautiful weight drop. We saw those light weights dominate last week with Hard to Cross and the Matriarch horse, Matriarch Rose or whatever it is, that dominated last week. The lightweights are key this time of year. So this gets in with 54 here. Gets a beautiful map. It's got early speed. And brings the different form. And it brings the Q-Man form. Because it's 2 runs before it went for a spell. This time in was 2 seconds to Q-Man. And then he came out and won the Oakley Plate. Nico's horse, didn't he? Didn't Nico like him? Q-Man. So that's good form. And the other, so it brings the different, the key though, one of the key that nearly got me over the line, what I've learnt the last couple of weeks. So Jollies are the leading trainers in South Australia, right? Got a lot of horses. Rarely venture across the border, right? They bring a couple I think they had a few runners over Cup Week. Since Cup Week, they had one run in a listed race in March, ran okay, probably a little bit underperformed. Since then, they've only brought 2 horses over the last 2 weeks. Lose some, win more, 1, and Pudding last week 1. Now they want to bring another one over. Keep Reading. So they're only bringing horses when they're really, really well suited and they're in the right, obviously flying over there. So Twin Perfection, Ashford Street, Vivian all finished alongside each other the other day. They all sort of take it in turns who gets the best runs and things in these sort of races. This is bringing the different form. The lightweight gets the grouse draw, backing in the Jollies because they know which horses they're bringing over. So I think this is a good bet. Keep Reading.
It's going to that's the map horse, and it's going to take some running down, especially with the weight drop. And I can definitely see the angle here. I couldn't talk anyone out of that horse. Extremely lucky. It'll be back map. I thought it was still okay in the Goodwood. Big class drop here, and 56 is okay. Curran's obviously one of mine as well, but drawn in the coffin, so he's going to give him a massive, massive start, but can pull a run fresh. But I'm with DK here. I think Keep Reading will stay firm in the market, and I'd definitely lean to him over horses like Twin Perfection and Ashford Street for sure, especially looking at the weights. Well,
yeah, I thought Extremely Lucky one by Acting God when it won, so I think if it runs you down too good.
Exactly. All right, beautiful. That short and sweet. Shy Leah was a good run last week for you, DK.
I'll go straight into it. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was just a bloody absolute steamer. But I haven't got a replay here because I forecasted that the show might go on for a little while. But your provincial best drum roll, DK, for this week.
Wagga Wagga. Out wide. Proper out wide.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this one, I snuck it in the black book just in case because the Corsons with their Benalla base do sneak horses over the border. And so I just threw it in because normally I don't really use a black book because you can sort of get your mind swayed by it. But I thought I just didn't want this sneaking over the border without me. And sure enough, so with this thing called, what is it? What am I saying?
Everything is autumn. Race 2, number 8.
Race 2, number 8 at Wagga tomorrow, Friday. Everything is autumn. So yes, everything is autumn. Resumed at Kyneton for the little kid they've got, C Pang, and went all right. It sort of got too far back, but did its best work nicely through the line. Looked a real second up improver, went up in trip, went from C Pang to D Bates, drew low. So I sort of had it marked as a real improver second up, but from that low draw, of course, what can happen? Found the coffin. So I found the coffin at a vital stage, got held up from the 4 to the 2, while 2 nice horses zoomed down the outside, Nasumi and Brand New Deal. Nasumi's a real nice horse of Butch Bourne's. Brand New Deal had real strong maiden metropolitan form down here. So they put a gap on the red. They got away from him when this was getting held up. So it should have finished a lot straight, so it should have run third. And my comment was, wants a mile off that. It's going to elevate up to a mile. So it goes to a mile maiden at Wagga. Just S. Miller, barrier 8. Just got to draw, just got to land, get a bum, find a bum, 2 or 3 pairs back. It's bred to run the mile. By the Autumn Sun, its mother is a Husson mare, won at 2,000. Autumn Sun won at 2,000. It'll run the mile, no worries. What else? There's a favourite, something, if Kelly Schweed has come down, it's a 15 start maiden. They put up favourite and United Front or something. The other horses, Dancer won 6. It's honest. 6th run into its first prep though. This is 3rd up, 2nd prep up to the mile. I just thought this was an easy bet. Everything is autumn. Thought it'll run very, very well. I think it's $5 or something like that in the early markets around the trap. So hopefully TopSport put up similar.
Dancer one might be a bit of a query at the mile too.
It's not much good.
No, it was got beaten a long way to that at Dolphins.
Well, it went over at $1.70 the other day. We covered ground.
Yeah.
It was a slowish tempo, but it's getting deep in its first prep. And the thing of Kelly Schweeters was 15 start maiden. They just put up favourite. It's 11 days ago. It's not like it's changed camps and blank canvas. It ran 11 days ago at Ipswich or somewhere and just come down here or Gold Coast. So no, I thought everything was like it.
Might have sent the float the wrong way with United front. Should have gone up north to Jared's.
It's a weird one, isn't it?
Strange.
I don't know.
Very weird.
Looking, you got Pat Murphy's got one first up. It's the same price as it. Doesn't seem to. Just seems wrong. Anyway, I'm tipping it won't be start $5.50.
No.
All right. Everything is autumn. S. Miller and Leon Corsons.
And the Corstons in form camp, airborne.
Yeah, S. Miller man for a job too. He can get it done when he wants to.
He's all right.
Rode a winner at Wodonga the other day, knocked me off in a photo.
It's just a cruel game, isn't it?
It's great. Never stops. Never stops coming at you.
Some people say it's very easy.
Mate, it's a privilege.
Don't be like that.
What?
We got through the whole show without upsetting anyone.
Oh, whatever.
All right, it's going to be a beauty. We're going to upset a couple on Saturday. It's going to be.
I reckon 20 minutes of Jay McLeod soothing tones will relax everyone anyway. Everyone will be absolutely relaxed.
I'm sort of cheering for him to get through to the second round because the show will just run itself. I'll just sit there and he'll talk for the 6 hours for the live stream in the grand final.
Can you put some shutters in for him in the office so that he feels at home?
He's absolutely flying. To tell you what, lives at a nice little place, so he's obviously a very, very hot worker. Donnie last week, my man Donnie, I think he's going to make the final. Clean Energy was beautiful. He loves horses hard in the market. I can see him and old man Gord lining up on a couple, but he's got an absolute certainty, he reckons, tomorrow night at Sunshine Coast.
Donnie's best this week is we go to Sunny Coast on Friday night. Race 8, number 15, Ella's World. Just had 2 starts. Won his maiden last start in terrific fashion. Best sectionals of the race in the day. Set up here, 1,600 metres, Sunny Coast looks perfect. I think it is a absolute moral. Good luck.
Man, how many times? I should have set the over and under at about 27.5. 4.5 was the worst line in history.
It's the moral show.
Oh, my God.
The moral episode.
I just want to see what time this race is on. Oh, it's only 6:30.
It's from down here, that horse.
Twilight meeting.
Yeah, Werribee, Terang, Jobby.
D Lane got it to go the other day. He's on it the other two. He's on it where Sunshine Coast because D Lane got it to fly.
Yeah, brought a couple up, obviously, the Freedman camp. So just chipping around the edges with a couple of their B graders. But looks a moderate race, that one. And that's as horny as Donnie gets for a horse. So that will be going very, very close. No odds up yet. So race 8, number 15, Ella's World, Sunshine Coast, Friday, and chips in Donnie for the stream if you like him. TopSport Steamers this week, race 5, number 6, Elmore Zillow, 500 at $8.50. We think that could be a donation.
Well, I don't think so, but it's that's more like, I think it's into $5.50 now, something. That's what we're sort of talking about, $8.50, $9, $10, something like that. It's probably more realistic.
Same one here, race 5, number 14, Brutal Bowler, $368.
Give it strength.
Think that's what?
Give it strength, he said.
And my man's, we got a share of that. Brutal Bowler.
Did you like its first start ride?
Yeah, that was good.
Holy! Someone said to me, "Oh, have a look at this replay." I went, "Oh, hey, Malin, this will be. You got to watch it.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
awesome.
it was good. Home turn. Yeah, he's lucky he's staying on his feet.
Oh, at least, yeah. And then last start, they said, "Oh, what a great ride, mate! I could have won on it." But anyway,
Eagle Farm race 7, number 10, In Secret, $400 at $9. So that could be Mr. McLeod's bet. So interesting to see that one. And this could be Johnny Waltz's bet. Race 7, number 11, Magic Time, $500 at $7.50. So rain expected. And looks like everyone's betting around. I wish I win. So
I've got no respect from Johnny McLeod. It needs a swamp to win that thing. He didn't even want to give it the time of day. So I'll be giving it the big salute if he comes roaring down the outside to jam In Secret.
Will you take your pants off?
I'll be lucky to have my pants on, but by that stage of the day.
Beautiful. All right. I'll say it again. Tune in 11:30 for the live stream tournament. You get to see 4 blokes whack away with 5K starting banks. Should be entertaining. Would be one of the best days on the punt. Only topped by the grand final with more on the line. They're going to have a real crack, so they're playing for the trip to Hong Kong. It'll be an absolute beauty. I'm still trying to get DK over the line for a permission slip to come to Hong Kong at the end of the year. It would be great to see him. I'd love to put a GoPro camera on DK's head for 5 days in Hong Kong. It'd break the internet.
So,
DK and Hutchie.
Imagine
me and Archie together.
Best ever. It would break the internet. I'm telling you, it'd break the internet.
Probably break a few more things, but that's all right.
Yeah, be good. All right, great stuff. Big thanks to all our sponsors. It'll be a cracker. Big thanks to all the boys that have got the pills to put their nuts on the line for the tournament. And we'll see you at 11:30 on Saturday morning, and we'll be betting all day until 5 o'clock. Someone will be a winner. There'll be 2 winners, and then they'll play off in the grand final on Stradbroke Day. Queensland Derby Day. Get around it. See you soon.